Hey, Peter.
Yeah.
You know this Victor Lewis tune, Hey, It's Me You're Talking To, not only is it a great tune, it's kind of a music lesson.
Ooh. Two birds with one stone. Ooh. Swing lesson, too.
I'm Adam Manis.
And I'm Peter Martin.
And you're listening to the You'll Hear It podcast.
Music Explored.
Explored, brought to you by Open Studio. Go to openstudiojazz.com for your jazz lesson needs.
Music lessons. We're beyond jazz at this point.
We are music lessons. That's actually correct.
That's right.
Peter, what are we talking about?
We're talking about tunes that teach you something.
These are tunes that teach you something. We often talk about some of these on here as little mini music lessons that are encapsulated in a tune itself. And I thought we could talk about some of our favorite tunes that are actually little music lessons and why they're music lessons.
Right. So these are sort of potentially, I think in the best case scenario, tunes that are for folks that are looking for a very efficient practice. You're getting the most bang for your buck. You know, you're getting some fun, good music. You're developing your repertoire, but you're also learning. I mean, they're almost like musical etudes in a way, you know, like the old school piano etudes that would inform and help you to work on specific parts of your technique, often just one element per etude. These all kind of are thematic in terms of what they're actually teaching you. I mean, look, anything, you could just take a basic 12-bar blues in the key of C and say everything you need to know about music is in there. But there's other things that can take you on specific journeys if that's more like advanced chromatic harmony or something.
Yeah.
Or, you know, shifting time signatures, all the different elements of music. It's great to learn them and practice them, develop them, extend upon them within a musical context.
Or in the case of our first example, how to play bebop.
Okay. Okay, I don't know this record.
So this is Clark Terry's Serenade to a Bus Seat. That's Wynton Kelly on the piano. That's Paul Chambers on the bass. That's Philly Joe Jones on the drum. And of course, that is Donna Lee.
And Johnny Griffin on tenor. I mean, first of all, I love the cover. I've never seen this record in my life. You've been on a Clark Terry kick lately.
I love Clark Terry.
Well, I love Clark Terry
I'm not
too.
afraid to
sue me. I don't know every record. Serenade to a Bus Seat. Look at that cover.
I don't know this record very well, actually. It's Riverside, and with the lineup is unbelievable. Like you said, Johnny Griffin, Wynton Kelly, Paul Chambers, and Philly Joe. So this is what my week is going to be, is listening to Serenade to a Bus Seat. But this is a great example of Donna Lee. Now, this tune, if you learn it, even if you just take that first phrase,
I thought it went.
That's Indiana, yes.
Okay.
Caleb, let's put up some chordy while we're here.
Chordesque. Should we get chordesque with this party?
So if we just take the first phrase of, maybe let's pause. Oh, he's got it. No, let's not pause. So take the first phrase.
Edit.
So we're in the key of A flat. So even that first phrase has so much information, especially if you put the root to it.
I thought you couldn't information your way to be a better player.
You can. So we start on A flat major. Oh. Just even what happens on the F7 chord, the second chord. That's like a F7 to a B flat 7. Like knowing how to get around using that phrase,
right?
That's everything.
Yeah,
and the entire
movements.
thing is packed full of examples like that. The
It's a
entire
solo.
head could be a solo.
Yeah,
exactly right.
Do you want to talk about what's in there? I mean, I think for the timing of like when you're adding in some chromaticism, that's a recurring theme on this. So you can kind of learn that, analyze it. It's not, the first,
Yeah, there's that little E natural in there.
Yeah.
to make you land on the E flat on beat 1.
Right, and then you've got some playing over the bar line, the chord bar line already.
Yep.
Because this is still on A flat major, but we're already on F7 down here. But it works. A flat major. Now we catch up in the right hand.
That's right.
And same thing. We're still on that F7, but and then it catches up. So it's like from the beginning, people think, I'll wait and play over the bar line the second chorus. Well, the melody does it in the second bar.
Yeah, and if you go on like to the next phrase,
is that enclosure? Surrounding?
Enclosure,
Help,
chromatic enclosure. Yeah, you're surrounded.
A dramatic enclosure.
Dramatic, chromatic.
And then jazz arpeggio up to the 11th.
Exactly right.
Oh.
Lots of jazz arpeggios.
Yep. Yeah. Tritone sub just in the melody.
Just that on a 2-5-1 to put a tritone sub.
Yep. Little repetition from that first phrase.
Yeah.
Ending on the sharp 11.
It's just...
We could do this all day.
You could do this all day. It is a perfect bebop lesson. By the way, it's not the only one. You can look at things like Confirmation, Blues for Alice. All of these bebop tunes are a great way to learn bebop. You don't even have to transcribe solos. Just learn the heads to the tunes.
Newsflash. Practice bebop tunes to learn bebop.
I know. It seems revolutionary.
It does feel like more, for whatever reason, like sort of the bebop idiom or genre, it's some of these melodies are even more instructive. Like if you learn...
Indiana,
what do you get from that? All you're getting is the pentatonic, which is fine.
Yeah.
But you're not getting any of that other fun stuff.
That's right.
You can get that, but you have to dive a little deeper.
Now, Peter, if we wanted to work on our rhythm, I think our second selection, and maybe you could drive the bus on this on the playlist.
Serenade to a Bus Tree.
Our second selection is a Thelonious Monk composition called Evidence.
Yeah. Oh, I like this version you got. This is reverb at Carnegie Hall.
Live at Carnegie Hall with John Coltrane. If you want to learn about syncopation, this tune is where it's at.
Yeah, what's up and what's down. End of ones. Down, up. Down. And that's where it can start, right?
Oh, absolutely. Just tapping the rhythm to yourself is a rhythm lesson, especially in syncopation. And by the way, just like Donna Lee's not the only bebop tune where you're going to learn how to play and get around chords with bebop, Evidence is not the only Monk tune. We're going to learn how to syncopate quarter notes, essentially.
Yep.
And it is so useful that if you just learned, say, 5 Thelonious Monk compositions, your rhythm would be markedly better by the end of that project. Just learn them. Just learn the rhythms.
Absolutely.
Learn the tunes, and you will have a better understanding of quarter note syncopation, of swing, and of how this genius crafted these incredible melodies. And you'll be good to go.
You're good to go. Yeah, and I think on this one in particular, probably more so than any Monk tune I can think off the top of my head, the rhythmic information, the rhythmic instruction and knowledge that you can derive from it is really based around the simple concept of downbeat versus upbeat in terms of the eighth note, right? 1, 2. Well, it's quarter notes here, but it's do, ga, bop. Like those first 2 notes. So you go, oh, bop. The first one's on the and of 1, and then it's on 1. Do, bop, bop. So first bar and a 1, second bar on the 1.
That's right.
And then everything else is a variation on that, an extension on that. If you can understand and feel and be able to execute the differences between those, like there end up being a lot of different variations that seem like they're leaving that, but they're actually not. It's still like even ba boodop, like ba boodop is down up right? So you just got some little bit more information in between it, but the rhythmic shell of it is down, up, just like it starts out up, down. So what's the difference between them? What do they feel like when they're all down? What do they feel like when you're moving from down to up? And then also, I would say sort of a secondary instruction is having the rhythmic or really kind of groove patience to time things
Groove
out.
patience.
Yeah, groove patience.
Good name.
GP. You gotta get your GP together, man. Bop, bop. Like, it's so easy to be like, oh, that's easy. You just wait and then play it on the one. But how many times we hear people play dop, bop?
Yeah, it's too early.
That's wrong. You see, look at I like it. You got dog. You're like, no, go to the back of the line, sir.
It doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel right.
Bop, bop. Like, but oh man, once you start to get that and repeat that and kind of, revel in that, like good things happen.
For sure. Our third example of a tune that's somewhat of a lesson, one of the most challenging things, especially for beginners to get, is the tritone substitution, right? Or that approaching a chord from a dominant chord a half step above. And our third tune, which is Dizzy Gillespie's A Night in Tunisia. I pronounce every vowel of Tunisia. Is a great example in the melody of how you might approach that. At least the first way you might approach that. Maybe, Peter, you could play a little bit of
Well, what's another great example of it is this track, A Night in Tunisia. Okay, let's listen.
Hurt my feelings.
Sensitive Sammy.
Even that intro. So swinging.
How to just turn this switch on. That was no dial. That was like grooving, Latin groove. Swing!
Yeah, I know. It's like,
and back again.
But, if you have this E flat 7, it's E flat 7
Yeah.
to a D minor 7. Maybe do a little chordy here, Caleb.
Sharp 11.
That's right.
Right?
And that's where that line starts on. Right? So in the melody itself, it teaches you how to approach that. It's like a B flat minor major 7 shape that you're going to ascend as you go up to that 9 of B flat. Even though, the chord is E flat 7 sharp 11, it's in that B flat melodic minor ascending mode. Yeah. And that's what Dizzy is outlining in that melody. And even in that intro of the ba-boo da-boo da-boo, ba-boo da-boo da-boo, that harmonically teaches you how to approach. Exactly.
Yeah.
So really good lesson on, and this is not the only one for helping you with this.
Yeah.
Something like Well You Needn't is also a great tune for, that's a monk tune, Well You Needn't. What's the tune? Yeah, that's great. There's tons of tunes that you can find that practice that half step slide from the bottom, from the top down.
Yep. Good. It's a real top-down approach.
It's a real top-down approach.
I want you to intro this next one.
So next up, we have two tunes that are going to practice our fast modulations. So modulating from keys very, very fast. And the first is what we open the show with.
Quick chord changes. Quick, we're moving around.
Well, we're changing tonality.
New York City here.
So this
Lots is going on.
New York. There's so much happening. So this is Hey, It's Me You're Talking To, the Victor Lewis tunes from 1993 recording that we had queued up in the intro. And the tune starts on a little pedal. But it goes from F major and then a 2-5 to D major. And then a 2-5, bless you, to B major and then a 2-5 to A flat major. So you're going from F to D to B to A flat. That's
going down in minor thirds.
Down in minor thirds. Let's listen to a little bit of that.
Little cyclical thing.
And it does it again and again. Can we listen to that recording from Victor Lewis and Chris McBride?
A young Chris McBride.
Introducing Seamus Blake on tenor.
Shameless Blake. Hey, you talking to me?
Hey, it's me you're talking to.
Hey.
There's a fun little etude this one. D, B major, A flat, B major, A flat, 2-5 back to F. That's the tune. It's a super fun ride, and it's great to practice switching those keys in 2/5s. Back to that little interlude. C sharp 11. The next example we have is a more famous example. You could, of course, use giant steps for a similar thing in major thirds.
Yep.
I like working through Countdown. Countdown is a contrafact on Tune Up, Miles Davis's Tune Up.
Yes.
From
Famously.
John Coltrane. And it goes through 3 different 2/5s. First in D, then in C, 2/5 to C, then a 2/5 to B flat. And then there's a little tag at the end, a little E minor F to B flat. But the way that Train used this is instead of going E minor 7 for a bar, A7 for a bar. Can we move the chordy up again?
Yeah.
Instead of going E minor 7, A7, D major.
Yep.
Train did E minor 7, F7, B flat, D flat 7, G flat major, A7, D major.
That's a fun little trip.
So taking it through major thirds in 5/1. So again, you got the 2-chord E minor, but then 5/1 to B flat, 5/1 to G flat, and then finally 5/1 back to D.
Yeah.
And then you do the same thing in the 2/5 to C.
Yep.
Just D minor, 5/1 to A flat, 5/1 to E, 5/1 to C, and then the same thing in the 2/5 to B flat. C minor, the 2-chord, 5/1 to G flat, 5/1 to D, 5/1 finally to B flat. So it's a fun way to work on your Coltrane changes. Yeah. Super fun way to work through 2/5-1s using that major third tonality shift approach. Let's listen to Brad Meldau's version of Countdown.
Brad who?
And the melody itself can help you get there using these common tonalities. Again, just 2/5s in D, in C, and in B flat, but with those Coltrane changes. And then Brad just doing crazy shit like Brad likes to do.
Doing his Brad shit.
Incredible. He's doing his Brad shit. Yeah, exactly. Next up, Peter, let's say that we want to learn some like pentatonic modal stuff.
Let's go modal, bro.
That's what they say. No, we want to go.
No one ever.
We want to go to the king. We want to go to the master. We want to go to McCoy Tyner.
Got it.
We want to go Passion Dance from the real McCoy. You could really use a ton of stuff from this album. You could use Blues on the Corner as a way into this as well. You could also use like Chicorea's The Matrix is one we talk about a lot. But to get into modal playing, use these modal melodies, and Passion Dance is a great way into that.
And the first thing is teaching you right off the bat.
Right off the bat.
Don't be afraid. Like a lot of times people are like, oh, okay, I'm going C minor pentatonic, which is a great way to approach this, right?
Yeah.
But that doesn't give you that. So like he's already shown you play around with that like that resolution and anti-resolution.
Yeah.
Like all the information you need is in that first line. Both triads.
Both triads, the F triad and the E flat triad. That's that hexatonic scale we've talked about here before.
Yeah. It's hexy.
It's hexy. It's not even sexy. It's hexy.
It's a hexy MF.
It's not penty. It's hexy. Anyway, I don't know. I don't know. I was trying to stay with it and it didn't work. You know, you can't land all the planes all the time.
No, you just showed that.
Peter, let me ask a question though, buddy. What if
you're a pilot, you need to though. Man, just think about something. So great that we are not Let's make a list of things that it's good.
Shoot,
Just
where's
because
it
of our like we are very accurate. We're clearly an A level podcast here, but we're not 100% accurate.
Okay.
We don't land everything. But let's talk about some jobs that you will be fired if not apprehended and put behind bars in a felonious manner. Felonious monk manner. Surgeon, right? Well, brain surgeon, like hand surgeon. You can miss every now and then.
Cosmetic surgeon?
You can definitely miss a little bit. Botox surgeon? What is that? That's a cosmetic surgeon,
It's
right?
like a spa treatment at this point, though.
It's a spa treatment.
It is.
Really?
I got it this
Send
morning.
me the link.
I
Send me
got
the
touched
link.
up this morning.
You look tight, man. You like tight AF, man.
I mean, people don't realize I'm 73 years old.
You look great,
Yeah,
man.
thank you.
Airline pilot
Yep.
or a co-pilot, right?
Anybody in a plane
No, I mean a flight attendant. You can
or on the ground. Anybody working on a plane.
Yeah, mechanic. Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, but I diverge. Okay, I'm interested in this next one you have on here because this is one that I wouldn't. I want to know your take on this because it wouldn't like if you were to press me, what is the lesson? What is the etude for Round Midnight by Thelonious Monk? I know the tune. I love the tune.
Yeah.
I feel like I've learned a lot, but I couldn't pinpoint what it is.
To me, this is the ultimate tune of a lesson in how to play a ballad. And Monk, yeah, I know.
Okay, so that could be any ballad.
Any great
ballad.
Any great ballad. I would put Sophisticated Lady up there as well. Some ballads play themselves. I would put Duke Ellington's or Billy Strayhorn's Lotus Blossom up there as well. Some tunes can play themselves.
What, Lush Life?
Lush Life is definitely in this category. But to me, Round Midnight, the way the melody is written and the way the chord changes work, it shows you the moves of how to navigate a great ballad.
Interesting.
Even on like, if you were to do a Gershwin ballad, you could use some of the lessons that you learn here with the phrasing that Monk has, that I think it's different than a pop ballad or an American, like a mid-century pop ballad, a gas ballad.
Right.
We swore we were never going to say gas again, but here we are.
It's a gas. So maybe sort of the prototype of a jazz standard ballad.
I think so.
Let's check it out. Everybody learn the intro. It's good. This is the original version from Genius of Modern Music.
Like the tune kind of walks itself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And the walking ballad is a lost art that we talk about a lot around here. But this to me, it teaches you that, as does things like Sophisticated Lady, as does Lush Life, as does In a Sentimental Mood. You know what I mean? Like the way that the melody and the changes are laid out for specifically Round Midnight and those other jazz ballads that we mentioned. To me, and also it gives you, man, there's so much goodness in here, but it gives you a great understanding of some ways to use harmony that aren't in the Great American Songbook standards. Like the way that Monk chromatically shifts around in some of the changes. The entire bridge is a lesson on how to shift harmony around in a way that jazz musicians tend to love. I think if you want to be a jazz pianist, you have to, like, all roads lead through Monk at some point.
Absolutely. He was a true harmony head.
He was a harmony head. Look out.
Look
out. Spoiler. Finally, Peter, we've got one more here. And this is really kind of the most underground tune we picked. Really
well, it's from a hard to find record.
It's out of print in several countries, including America.
Right.
So you can't really find it anymore.
Okay.
You can find that on vinyl in like New York in a couple of dusty places for about $230 for a copy. It's called Kind of Blue.
Oh.
You ever heard of it? No, I picked this one because to me, this was a personal lesson when I learned this song, like from the record, and I learned about those voicings that Bill Evans plays.
You mean the So What voicings?
They're literally called the So What voicings. This is So What, and we'll go out on this. But
so your approach on this is interesting. So I was just like, well, we kind of already covered Modal playing with Passion Dance, but this is about voicings.
And specifically voicings and even comping, like the way that Bill interacts with Miles in his solo. And the way that he uses those modal voicings, I think, is it's first of all, it's really easy to hear on this album.
Yep.
So like if you're a beginner and you want to learn how to play some D minor voicings that move around a bit, it's baked into the tune.
Yep.
There it is.
And
Like,
it's suggestive then of
it's suggested that you
of all
can
the
take
different
that
places
shape
you
and
can-
move it around, which ding 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 you can.
right.
Take that shape and just move it around through that D Dorian scale.
And then it forces you into the chromatic movement, which would be your next place to go.
Totally right.
So what?
Those are the so what voicings. And they're beautiful voicings.
They are.
Stack of fourths with third on top.
It's a beautiful. There's a symmetry and a beauty there. There's a modality.
So those are our 7, Peter. We've got bebop, we've got rhythm,
Yep.
we've got how to deal with a tritone substitution or
Yep.
a half-step slide. We've got how to deal with very fast modulations.
Quickly moving chord
Quickly with
progressions.
our "Hey, it's me you're talking to" and countdown.
Yep.
We had what else?
Passion dance,
Passion dance,
modal playing.
some modal playing. Learn that head to passion dance, and you'll have a leg up on how
Yep.
to play over one chord. We had ballads with
Around Midnight.
Around Midnight, as well as, like we said, Sophisticated Lady and Lotus Blossom and In a Sentimental Mood. And then if you want to get some easy voicings
Yeah.
that sound great over one chord,
Mandatory voicings.
you got to know them.
Yep.
Till next time.
You'll hear it. Okay, he's still using it.